Hey there. This child's kilt was brought to me some time ago for repair because it's beautifully made. I mean, it's hats off to whoever did this because they didn't cut any corners at all. This is like superior workmanship. Unfortunately, the only other thing that's been working that hard regarding this kilt are the moths, which have been infesting it apparently for generations, and includes, you can just see a little bit of frass right there. So when I got this thing, the first thing I did was I whipped it into a plastic bag, sealed it, and then stuck it in the deep freeze. And that's been sitting in there for 10 days. And I've just pulled it out, and now I'm going to give it a press because moths should die. See, the whole thing is apparently the optimum treatment in the museum world these days. If you got something that might be insect infested, you put it into, you bag it and you put it in the freezer for 10 days. Because as the temperature drops, the female moth will lay eggs. Because as far as the species is concerned, the individual doesn't matter, the perpetuation of the DNA does. So the female will lay eggs before she freezes to death in the hopes that they will thaw out and repopulate. So in the museums, what they will do is they will put the object in the freezer for 10 days, take it out for a few days, I believe 10 days again, and then put it back in the freezer for at least another 10 days because, again, putting it in the freezer kills the living moths. They lay eggs before they die. You take it out of the freezer, the eggs hatch, and then you put them back in the freezer so that the pupa will die before they have a chance to reproduce and lay eggs. Now, I don't have that amount of time, so I've pulled it out of the freezer and I'm giving it a really good heavy press. And we're finding that this cloth, the dye, is a little bit less than perfect because some of the dye is coming off on my iron, but I can't help that. The important thing is that really lean into the press here so that the steam penetrates the cloth and cooks the little sons of bitches before they can do further damage. Okay. And they can be quite small too, so just because I can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. And my iron seems to be losing its heat. But as long as I can hear a hiss, I know that water is being converted to steam and driven through the garment, and hopefully giving the moth eggs and pupa and adults their worst day ever. Okay, I'm gonna have to wash my pressing cloth. This is just foul. Incidentally, this can be a really good way to clean a kilt, a steam press like this. Okay, flip her over. What are you? You look like a moth casing. Okay, well, I'm going to squish that between my fingers and roll it into a ball and kill it and throw it in the sink and flush it down the sink because death to moths. It's funny because using this spray bottle. This is something I've always done, or quickly came to do when pressing, but I see other people using a paintbrush or things like that, which, okay, that works. But to me, the spritz bottle gets the job done. I'm going to really press this lining too, because there's many layers of cloth in there, and the moths could be, or the pupa or whatever, larva, any of the 4 stages. What? Egg, larva, pupa, and then full-grown moth. So 4 stages. Any of the 4 stages can be in there. So let's not cut corners. And once again, this antique iron of mine is absolutely the cat's pajamas for this job. You can buy them on eBay. If you're really flush, you can buy them new, but they cost an absolutely horrendous amount new. They're like, last time I looked, they were like $300 US. Die, moths, die! There's no quick way to do this. Process a little bit. The thickest part, so I have to let it sit the longest to really get that heat in there. Yeah, there's even mothing on this side. It's terrible. I'm going to shut off now because I have to let that iron reheat for a couple of 3 minutes. And rather than sit and recite limericks to you, what the hell's that? That could be another pupa casing. God, I hate moths. Okay, I'm going to sign off now. But yeah, I'm going to carry on and just press the living daylights out of this and hopefully exterminate every insect in the thing. And then let it dry in a, I'm going to take it out to my shop and let it sit out there, where if any moths survive, they absolutely can't get into the shop, because that's something I worry about. Anyhow, yeah, I'm going to sign off now and talk to you later.